Bible is a pro-life book?
Of course. Of course.
And then what do you say to the people out there who say, well, you know what? God killed everybody on earth. He killed everybody except for Noah and a bunch of farm animals. That's not very pro-life.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
Because I've had people make the argument, there's probably some pregnant women that were there and the flood happened that God sent, and he kind of aborted those babies.
Well, on the same hand, he also did have an ark and did try to save as many as he could. And it was.
But a boat is really small. You couldn't fit all of. If a fetus is, considered a baby, shouldn't he have saved every pregnant woman because there's life on them?
So we do try to save every baby. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the ark.
The ark itself.
He should have put all the pregnant women on the ark.
So the interpretation of the Genesis story is hard.
Coming from a galaxy near you, this is Brothers in Booze. And here are your hosts, Greg Washington and Doug Ziegler.
Welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, the interpretation is hard, Doug.
Yeah. Well, that was a great way to start Brothers in Booze. Welcome, everybody. Starting on a light note tonight.
Sure. We have fun guests tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to the Survival Blonde from Martin City Brewery. We're going to talk to somebody next week about that. But it's a Belgian style blonde.
Very nice.
Yeah, when these are done well, they're great because they're light and refreshing, like this one is, but they're also flavorful, and they have that Belgian kick that we look for.
So would you say that's like summer lawnmower style then?
Yeah, or winter snowmobile. Or a snow blower. Y'all been getting more snow than us, so I'm not going to be bitching.
Yeah, but we've had a little heat wave here. It was actually 50 here today, which is really super weird because February is usually our coldest month. So
super weird and super global warming, Yeah.
Evening, Daniel. So I have been having a fever and chills the past day or two, so I'm going to be doing all NA offerings tonight because I just want to stay clear of that for another day while I'm recovering. I'm pretty much over it, but I just want to be safe. So what I'm starting with tonight is a botanical cocktail from something called the Optimist. And it's this is fresh. This is their gin facsimile, I guess you could call it. So it's got a whole bunch of little things in there. You can read them on the label. Not a very good photo because my camera is like not focusing very well. But it has a whole bunch of stuff in there, and it approximates gin, but like a botanical gin. So what I did was I got some lime. I muddled it in a glass, and then I put some of that in, and then with some lime tonic water. So it's a lime gin and tonic, NA style. So cheers.
Okay.
Ooh, that's crisp. You would really like this. I'm telling you. I know you like gin and tonics too. So
love them.
Yeah, this is like really. It has some sort of cucumber elements to it too, which is different because it's not exactly like gin. So, but it's really refreshing. Like when we were talking about your beer with maybe being like a summertime beer, this is a spring summery drink for sure. So this is really good. You can order that stuff online at the Optimist Botanicals, I think it is, and it's now that's an expensive bottle. It's probably 30 something bucks, but this thing is if you want to do something where you don't want booze, but you want this flavor, there you go. Oh boy, Jade, she's going big.
Love the tequila. It's no bigger than any other alcohol, y'all. Y'all
know,
just
but me and tequila don't get along. So
well, you and a lot of people, y'all have that. People have this thinking that tequila is bigger, but yeah, Matt says he needs to order some of that. Yeah. So our friends Kelly and Matt, the last time we talked to them, they were living in Baltimore, Maryland, and now they are in Atlanta, Georgia. And right before we bring them on, because I just want to scoot them on, we don't need to really. Y'all know who they are. If you don't, you're about to find out.
You're gonna find out.
Right, you're about to find out. Right. But I just wanted to show this clip because one of the things that Matt has expressed to me on the side, much Doug, is how fucking crazy Atlanta is compared to Baltimore. And Baltimore, the former piece of shit, piece of shit POTUS. You know what I mean? Like he really exasperated how bad Baltimore is, and Baltimore's this and Baltimore's that and all that. And our friends are here to tell us that Atlanta is just as crazy, if not. So I'm going to show this clip and then we're going to bring them on.
That's it.
So apparently somebody had some overcharges that they didn't want to pay for, Doug. So they jumped the counter. And as you can see, it says Atlanta Uncensored. So I'm pretty sure you feel me? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
How is that? Because they're huge. Stay there.
Well, do you think you're going to accomplish anything by doing that? You think you're really going to get your money back?
Hey, isn't that like a federal fucking crime? Like, holy shit.
Well, besides all that, Doug.
They're not going to be like, ooh, well, by all means, here, have all our money from our tray. We'll make that.
Right. And if you end up taking money out of there, then you're really going, I don't. So we're going to ask our friends for some guidance here, because obviously
I think we need it.
Maybe they know something more than we do. So without further ado, we're going to bring on Kelly and Matt from Black Brothers Foundation. I'm sorry, Black Brothers and Black Fathers Foundation. And Kelly's a doula, and I'm excited to have them on again. So here they are.
Yay!
Oh my goodness.
Right, so y'all down there jumping counters and shit. What's going on down there?
Yeah. So,
First of all,
people need to exercise. It's an Olympic town, so we do things a little differently, I guess. For
I'm not claiming
for
this
sport,
place.
jumping on counters is
Speak for yourself, brother.
Like bypassing the plastic divider. Like
She couldn't even put. Right, she couldn't even put a belt on though. Come on, if you're gonna do that, put a belt on.
That's a she.
I don't know, but
I'm not. I thought it's. I think the caption.
I can't see the caption.
Yeah, well, yeah. I thought the caption said she, but it's not on here at all.
It very well could be. Down here, you never know. But I think the gym was just closed that day. Normally they do, they have that exercise some people do where they like jump up on just to test their calf.
Now let's say what we were saying before we got on camera. For $32,
yeah,
that's the insufficient fund fee or whatever fee she got.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, all
right.
that,
Right.
all
Right. She didn't get her full paycheck. And I think, have we all been through that where like we didn't get our, you know what I mean? You roll up to the bank
for sure.
and like you're like, what? I don't have any money. You motherfuckers took $50 because it used to be some places is $50.
No.
And back in the day, I only made $50.
Now I done gave the people the business on the telephone, but I ain't never gone to no bank to raise the roof on my feet. No. People call the police.
I have a question though. Which Peachtree Street was that on?
I think it was Peachtree Roundabout.
Yes. That's it.
That's something we still. I tell people like this is the fakest peach state I've ever seen. I don't understand because the only place I ever see peaches is on my license plate. But other than that, I don't know where to find them.
Street name.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. They're on the street names and on the license plate. And That's it. And and the Made in Georgia symbol. But
yeah, after all the TV shows.
I've even gone someplace and asked for a peach milkshake, and they said we're out of peaches. And I said, how is that even possible? This is the peach state. How are you out of peaches?
Maybe y'all need to talk to Bieber because he gets his peaches in Georgia. Oh, we're gonna get flagged for that, Doug. Sorry.
Yeah, I almost sang the presidents of the United States of America with the millions of peaches thing, and then
yes. Man, you can't find any peaches down in Georgia.
No,
Georgia's such a hot mess. We already know, but y'all know better than us, and I want to get into it because everybody sees Georgia and everybody has their own idea of Georgia, and I'm sure y'all had your idea of Georgia moving there from Baltimore, and reality hit. And I'm not even trying to be an ass about it, but like I think we all have a different idea about what, especially Atlanta too. Like I don't know, I see Atlanta as a pro-black city, hip, foodie. You guys got, I thought, good beer. I don't know. I look at Atlanta as a positive, and what I've been hearing from my friend Matt, it's not. I mean, I hear some good things, but man, I mean, some of the shit is. I mean, y'all laughing, but some of it's serious shit.
It is. No, I'm laughing.
What's going on?
I'm laughing because I'm thinking if any Atlanta resident is watching this, they're gonna think I'm a horrible person.
Tomato.
Yeah, I thought this was such a great place, but Matt Prestbury just shit.
Right. Go back to Baltimore. Go back to where y'all came from. Right, Doug. Right, isn't that right? All right. Go back to where you came from. Yeah, right. Baltimore, bitches. Right.
It's really interesting though, because of course, we came down here a couple of times as tourists. So we did the whole touristy thing and all of that. And from that perspective, you jump in, right, the aquarium, you see all of that good stuff, the MLK, yada yada, and then you go town, you go to a strip club here and there, and you get on your way. But it's just with
now that's where some peaches are at.
Yeah, that's where the peaches are. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
The place was actually called Peaches, and they had peaches in there. I'm just saying. Okay, go ahead.
But
the last place I want to eat anything, but yeah.
No, chicken wings are good.
Wings, yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
Strip club wings are top tier.
Strip club wings are good. If you didn't know, ask somebody.
If you didn't know, ask Lemon Pepper Lou. He know. He broke the bubble to go get strip club wings, among other things, right?
Yeah, and disclaimer, my strip club experience is only Pennsylvania ones, so that's probably not.
No, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So couple I'm sorry.
Burns.
I'm sorry, Matt. Right. I'm sorry, Matt. Back to what you're saying. Sorry, I didn't.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I didn't even drink any alcohol, and I'm feeling like I did.
Right.
I was getting ready to really disparage Pennsylvania strippers. I better stop while I'm
Right.
I won't be able to go to Philly ever again.
We don't get banned out of Atlanta.
I got stuff to do in Pittsburgh. I know we're gonna be banned out of Atlanta too. Gonna have to go to Tennessee or something and start over. Wait, Greg is saying I shit on Atlanta so bad.
Listen.
I
think you just tell the truth. I mean,
it's all public record. Like all you got to do is go to ATL Uncensored, right? It's not me. I'm not making this stuff up.
Right.
ATL Scoop. Now, if you go to ATL Scoop, you're really gonna see it. That's the thing. When we came down here and we started following ATL Scoop, I don't even know how we got on it, but ATL Scoop will tell you the real deal. Anybody, you can follow that from anywhere.
I think, for like the first 4 months, I was like, I'm not going to Atlanta.
Yeah, she definitely said
I was like, I'm not driving to Atlanta. I'm not taking my car there. I'm not taking my body there. We're not eating in Atlanta. We're not doing nothing. And so if we went, I was like driving through. Like I wasn't stopping. I told all my family if they come and visit me, we not going there. Like I told them all of that.
Yeah. It was like the ATL school was like if you in Baltimore and all you did was watch Murder Inc. Like that how it is. It's like all the horror stories, all the cars on fire, all the people on foot running from the police.
On the Beltway.
On the Beltway, yes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
On the fucking Beltway?
Yeah.
Cars on fire multiple times a day
Right.
for consecutive days of the week. I didn't know what that was about until somebody was like, maybe they were trying to get some insurance or something. Like scammers is all scammers.
Yeah, they call the place scam. I've seen here and there. They call it Scamlanta because there's always something. Listen, they had the other day. I just saw they're putting out fake parking tickets on people's cars, and they have this thing. It's like a QR code. So you scan it and then you pay. You give them money, thinking you pay your parking ticket.
that is
just like the ticket. It looks exactly the same.
That's like some high level scammy art.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's next level, Doug.
Yeah.
Smash and grab.
Man.
That's why I said if you know when people say only in Philly or only in Baltimore, I'm like, nah, dog.
No.
Atlanta did it first. Atlanta is Soulja Boy. It's a good thing Soulja Boy is from Atlanta because when it comes to all that kind of crazy stuff, Atlanta did it first. You know, you really think Florida is something, but
remember on 4th of July when they were shooting fireworks at each other? It was like in the parking lot of this apartment complex, and they were shooting fireworks at each other, and it looked like something out of Star Wars.
Oh my God!
I mean, we have stories for hours.
Yeah, we really do.
We have stories for hours.
Now, so tell everybody a little bit about why you made why y'all moved from a place that you were born and raised, right, Matt? And I don't know if y'all know, but Matt has, in my opinion, from what I know, Matt knows everyone in Baltimore. Man. So this motherfucker knows so many people. He has so many contacts from politicians to ball players to, you know, community, you know, workers and, you know, everyday people, of course, too. You know, you left a place that's really, really comfortable, I would say, for you. Maybe I'm wrong. To go to a place that really is not comfortable for you at all. And I'm just wondering, you know, what was the thought process behind it, if y'all want to go in a little bit, because maybe it's personal, but also really more about just like, how does it feel getting out of your comfort zone? When, you know, I did this early-ish, about 20 years ago, me and a lady just moved from Pennsylvania, and we, you know, we still haven't, you know, we've established friends here and all that, but like just leaving a place where you know, you lived your whole adulthood and going to a place where you really don't know anyone.
Yeah. So we do have, have had friends who moved down, and that was part of what got us to move down, knowing that, you know, we did have a few people, ended up none of them being anywhere near where we actually moved to, which is crazy. I tell people, like, it's basically the equivalent, like everybody that we know in this area is basically like the equivalent, like if we had moved to Baltimore and everybody that we knew lived in DC, that's kind of how it is. So it's like you gotta travel. So you come down thinking like, yeah, we know people, and then you get down here and like, oh god damn, they're all an hour away. Like, but it was really what really convinced us, among, you know, in addition to what we saw when we came down in, you know, the strip clubs mainly, and, you know, but outside of that, it was a feeling like a lot of support, and we felt like we would get support because this is like that Mecca in the South, that chocolate city, or it definitely was more so. We know that gentrification is sweeping through, like, you know, just about everywhere else. So it's changing, but still, for the most part, it's a lot of blackness and you get that kind of support. So that's what we really wanted to do. We wanted to spread our wings, and yeah, it was definitely difficult. I love Baltimore with all my heart. Put in a whole lot of work in various communities in Baltimore, all across the city, and damn, Craig, now you got me all sentimental and shit.
Oh, don't start crying.
I miss my friends. But thank you, baby.
Get yourself together. We need something for this.
Okay. No, I'm playing. But no. So it definitely was tough. In the first couple of weeks, I was truly homesick. I wanted to go back so bad because a part of it was because of confidence, which when you come into a place that is very different, very much so. Not to mention we moved the place. Oh my goodness, we can get into that, but it's and for us, like we are about 20 miles, I guess, north of the city of Atlanta itself, so it's a suburban area, you call it, but and at the same time it's a whole city itself, which is different to us. So it's like the way it is around here, it's just stacked cities all around, and we definitely weren't used to that. That was a transition because Baltimore, for anybody who doesn't know, is a solely independent entity that is just completely separate from the county and everything, and then there are very few actual cities in Maryland, so you get a stretch where it's all just county, suburbs. Right, suburbs and all of that, and then a city, DC, Annapolis, Glen Burnie. So it's a stretch, but here is really different, city, so you can just go, you drive for 2 minutes, you're in a different city, and then 10 more minutes, you're in a whole nother city. You go through 3 different cities in no time. So it's a lot to get used to, and then you have the 1,000,001 peach trees and all of the other places where you have like 2 streets with the same name. You have like a
place in a drive.
Right. You have like a brown
street.
For fuck's
sake. They don't think
I don't understand. It's like at the corner of Brown Street and Brown Place. Meet me at Brown Street and Brown Place. Like, why? Why do they have the same names? But then you take a street, like there's one main street that has like 4 different names for the same street. I don't understand. Like
Main Street America. It's main streets in every city.
You could have took one of those 4 names on that one street and given it to this other one, so they didn't have to have the same name as the street right next to it. I don't know, but it's different. It's definitely different.
Damn straight, a hot damn mess. They are.
Yeah, I just saw, I was on something, probably Instagram or something, whatever, and somebody said Atlanta streets look like they're designed by a drunk toddler.
I mean, we traded potholes for foolishness.
Yeah.
So is it fair to say that Donald Glover kind of misled you into what Atlanta was?
No. I don't think misled. I think it was very accurate because when you go back and watch that show and see how bizarre, it is. I think he was spot on. Like, it's so much bizarre shit around here. I'm just waiting to find Alligator Man. So
I mean, there are some positive things that came
definitely
out. Some positive things.
Sure, we'll get there, but is Atlanta is Georgia as like crazy as it looks to me, where it's like you are in Atlanta and you have the culture and all that, then you like drive 15 minutes and you have a culture, but it's completely different. And you're in the middle of Redneckville. So there's like this big huge contrast. Is that what I'm feeling, or is that
like Marjorie Green? Taylor is in the next county over, and we already told you it takes only 2 minutes to get there. It's like literally right there. Yeah. So we are in what they call the suburbs, and it's in this.
Wow.
Well, where we are, it's very diverse where we are, but we are surrounded with a lot of Caucasian communities where it's Trump signs and
definitely.
They're like spicy in the supermarket. Some of them look like you got two heads. It's a lot of things going on.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Wow.
The kids go to school, and they're in a decent school compared to Baltimore City, but the problems are different. And it's like kids are like vaping it up in the bathroom, doing lines, like. And no,
wait, down there?
Not doing lines. Okay, they're not doing lines.
Not that we know.
I was like, wow.
But right. But they like it's.
I don't know if it's quite euphoria level. I don't want to put it like that.
Right.
But who knows?
But
nobody would know. Like those people, those parents on euphoria do not know. Like that are drug addicts.
Yeah. And stereotypes would tell you that that's where y'all came from. Like that's what people would say about Baltimore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Crack everywhere. Right. Kids doing. You know what I mean? You got Omar from The Wire running around, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? Something that's really interesting to me is that right along the lines of what you're saying is that people, do make those kinds of assumptions.
Yeah.
But what they don't necessarily consider is that, in a place like this where a lot of folks have money, you still got problems. You just have different problems. You got folks with money problems. You got the kids who are like, my parents got money. I don't need to listen to you. That whole sort of thing. So you get all of that. You still got a lot to contend with. It just looks different.
They love our kids. They're trying to add them to every program. They're like, you're doing work? Like, really? Like, kids are going to sleep in school. Like, it's just, it's crazy. But have you guys ever watched Weeds?
Yes.
What's that?
Weeds.
Yes.
The show, the show Weeds.
Yes. My wife watched that.
When we moved out here and we went through our first election, because I volunteered to be a poll worker. Not that kind of poll work, but a poll worker at the vote.
It's a strip club.
Yeah.
Again.
I witnessed a lot and was able to look up a lot because we wanted to know who we were voting for. But then when we got to talking about the issues and stuff, they were like talking about green space and like they mad and like shitting wars on people about building a green space. And we're not talking about any crime because there is none. We were watching the news today. Sandy Springs was like, oh my God, somebody got shot at the the pub. And they said, well, nobody's gotten shot in Sandy Springs in years. And I'm like, what? And it's just like, this is, it's a whole, you have to really like.
That's an interesting thing because it's a real culture shock. And it's like, I know that's what we wanted. That's part of the reason why we moved, of course, because in Baltimore, it was just like, you're just sitting around thinking, when am I going to be next, right? So move out, trying to get away, and then you come down here and you find out. So the place where you actually live is fantastic, but 20, 30 minutes away is crazy town. And, you're kind of, not even kind of, but you're really going through a lot of the same stuff you went through in Baltimore, right? Just not necessarily with the frequency, right? So it's different crimes. A lot more of the car break-ins and things like that, but it's still the shootings and things like that. So you still got to go through that. It's just not on the same level, but it's still like traumatizing just because of the fact that it's happening. And then it also feels like it's inching closer, and it just makes you feel like, why did we leave again? Like part of the reason was we wanted to get away from this, like, and then we moved down here, and it's almost like deja vu. In those parts, but you can't allow yourself to get fooled to think that you live in this bubble, because you absolutely don't, because it can happen anywhere, as we can attest to personally, because we've actually had, since we've been here, 2 murders in our complex, So it hit very, very, very close to home in a very literal sense to murders. But at the same time, you think like you keep going back and forth because it's like, okay, yeah, it was 2 murders. It was very close. That was horrible.
I used to hang on the west side
but
of Baltimore.
exactly, like in Baltimore, that was like, is it lunch? Oh, 2 murders.
Yeah.
Okay, lunchtime, and then like,
but like,
right.
Like hold the pearls. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Next door, we see the.
But then around here, they had the murder. And like when we first came down here, didn't see police anywhere. You could speed all you want. You could do whatever. Like you could just piss out the window, whatever. There was no police around, right? Somebody gets shot and it's almost like lockdown, because it's such an abnormal event around these parts, which is great. But then I can't piss out the window anymore. Like that shit. Why'd you have to kill the guy? Then I can't. No, I can't. No, not really.
That kind of deep. Whoa. That's so.
So it's a trade-off,
Hey,
but the one thing that I always point out though, which is something because we actually live this, is that people think Joe Biden that increased policing, is the solution, and the more police, the less crime, and all of that. And we know that studies show that's not true.
True at all.
And I always say, in this city in which we live in the cities around us, you rarely ever see the police. Like the police literally, like when you see them pulling people over and you're like, you don't got anything better to do? They literally don't have anything better to do because it ain't shit going on. The best they got to do is set up speed traps. Like that keeps them busy.
Yeah, mariachi band. I called them. They was here in a minute.
Don't do that shit. Do not do that shit. Stop. Just don't tell nobody. Quit while you ahead. Before.
I mean, come on. No, it's not. All right, I shouldn't say it like that. Okay, I called the police.
You have a propensity for saying things that other ethnicities and races of individuals may find offensive. Let me put it like that.
But
Proceed.
That's what they are.
Okay, it was mariachi music. Okay, yes, so that's not.
Okay.
It was mariachi. I just want to make sure she doesn't jump off the cliff.
The truth is his defense. And the truth is his defense. If it was mariachi music, that's what it was.
Yeah,
it was mariachi music. They were Hispanic individuals. We don't know which country they were from, so don't.
I did not say anything about where they from.
Making sure,
I mean, it could have been. I could have been down there playing. It don't matter. It was loud as hell. It was loud. It was so loud. I had my TV on 20 and I still couldn't hear. So I had to call, but they were here in a second. They were here like, we came to be on the case. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't think they were going to come. But they did.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying.
Sorry.
No. I forgot where she was even going with that. I was like, what is the connection to what I was? Okay. Yeah,
I called the police.
Yeah.
Right.
So, because they really...
It's timely.
They don't have anything to do, but it makes you think, like, what is it that makes it so that in this environment, you can have such a crime-free environment and never see the police, right? So that shows you that it's not a one-to-one thing. There's so many factors that go in. So you can't just say, oh, if we have more police, we'll have less crime, because we have less crime here and I never see the police ever. What is it,
Damn. Doug, you have a question?
Yeah, we never did ask you guys what you're all drinking. What are you guys drinking?
Well,
we are drinking Solvita. Solvita's finest cranberry and mango. From the Lidl.
Oh, Lidl.
Yes, I think they said Lidl.
Oh, yeah.
He's not drinking.
Yeah. And she's got...
But I'm drinking.
Oh.
My uncle...
the nearest.
Yes.
Yes.
My uncle... Oh, you know what? I'm glad you all asked that, because we had the pleasure of going to the facilities, the distillery. I sometimes I want to say dispensary. That's a totally different thing. So... the distillery for Uncle Nearest, for anybody Shelbyville, Tennessee, when you get a chance to come down, It's a fantastic facility, and it's getting better. They're making improvements all the time, and it's just an outstanding story. Like, I think everybody should know that story about Nearest Green, and know the story of Fawn Weaver and the whole company, because they are making history every day, all the time. Yes,
that's something that you need to look.
Definitely Black History Month. Fawn Weaver and her whole team at Uncle Nearest, they are definitely making Black history for sure. Victoria E. Butler, who is the master blender, shout out to her.
You know them all.
Yeah, and we've had Jackie Summers on, who he's the founder of Sorrel, and Fawn pump money into him and supports him, and so her tentacles go deep, y'all.
Yeah,
like, you already know she's amazing, man. Man, I got Doug. We gotta up our game and try to get her on this, man. We really do.
That would be
I know, right?
That would be
right.
a
Right. Cheers to her, though, man. Like, man,
really
especially Black History Month, and all the stupid shit that's going on during Black History Month. I'm telling you, they see February 1st. And these racist people are just ready to drop. Like, you know what I mean? Like Joe Rogan did. Joe Rogan did 70. He remember they took off 100 of his podcasts because he was saying racist shit. Not only to Black people, just racist, crazy shit. But why'd y'all have to wait till February 1st? To right. All of a sudden, Joe Rogan's a racist on February 1st. He wasn't in January 15th. He wasn't back at Christmas. February 1st, all of a sudden, Joe Rogan's the biggest racist ever, and we have to see all the clips, and we have to have Twitter things where we go back and we again. I kind of appreciate that on some level, but can't y'all wait? Don't you have 11 other months to be to show off your racism? It's it's February 1st. It's time to drop. And if you go back to last year, there's all these racial controversies that stir up. People just lose their mind on Black History Month. And on some level, I resent this and it annoys me to tears. But on some level, I'm like, well, whatever. I mean, I guess it's what a better month than, this is because this is Black history. Black history is part of it is, unfortunately, the fucking racism that we deal with and we've dealt with from jump and we continue to deal with. So then it's almost, I know people get mad about it, but it's almost apropos that all this shit comes out during fucking Black History Month. Because again, that's part of Black history is racism and assholishness and racism being propped up too. Joe Rogan, don't silence him. Don't censor him, Doug. No, we can't have censorship. That's not censorship, motherfuckers. He would just have to take his shit to another fucking platform. It's not censorship. He's never going to be censored. Stop with all this bullshit. Oh my goodness, I can't take it. Then you have, I just wanted to mention, while I'm on this tip, then you have shit like this, that I wanted to talk about. Now again, Matt, you got something for this before I'm on a rant, so you can take over here.
Okay. The only thing before we get into this, I just want to say if your head explodes, it'll just match with the background on the wall. So
yes.
But we don't need your head exploding. So it's all right, Greg.
Right.
So we were talking about, when you had first mentioned that, talking really about symbolism over substance. And a lot of the shit that we've seen lately has been just that. And it's really, it makes me think about when people sometimes talk to people who have depression and they say these things that sound nice and all of that, but they aren't necessarily helpful and they aren't really, helping this person get to a better place, but they It's things that have been said or whatever over and over. What do they say? Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. So all of that, all of that type of stuff, that sounds good. So with this, it's like it looks nice, it's cute, and you can say, okay, well, we're honoring this person, we're doing that, and it's a nice gesture. You don't knock it on its face because it's a nice gesture. But the thing about it is, what does it do to change our conditions? And you're honoring a person who really did something that literally changed conditions in a major way. So how do you take that further and have something of substance, not just style that looks nice, and say, see, we did it this 1 month, and then, March is back to normal and all of that type of stuff. Exactly. Empty platitudes like this whole with the Pearl Milling Company and Ben's Finest and all of that type of shit. First of all, I had no goddamn problem with Aunt Jemima whatsoever.
I just bought about it yesterday.
Pearl Milling Company is the stupidest sounding shit.
It sure is.
I was fine with Aunt Jemima, right?
They had them on the shelf next to each other.
Nobody fucking asked me if I needed Aunt Jemima off the box or Uncle Ben off the box. I was fine with them. I got way bigger fish to fry, Yeah. We
and what about the seat in the front of the bus? Like, the disabled people need to sit down. Like, how? So, okay, all right.
That's the whiskey. That's the whiskey. It's about to get fun.
And
that's the and
all right. I'm
special treats. But it's really something. I didn't read the caption. I just saw the backlash was resounding. It's in the front of the bus.
Yeah, they blocked off the seat in the front of the bus for Rosa.
Oh.
And what I'm saying is,
gotcha.
That's usually for the elderly and stuff. So now they take it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit down.
I understand. But we
Okay. All right. All right.
Give me a sec. Y'all already know what I go through with this one. You gotta bear with it. But anyway, yeah, it's so many things just as Black people where we are really getting frustrated. I'd say, like, I know we're not monolithic. I'm not saying every single person, but overwhelmingly, to a large degree, many Black people are getting upset because it's so much style over substance, and we need real protections.
Right.
In terms of voting, we getting screwed over in voting. Nobody's standing up to protect us in voting. We need cannabis federally legalized, and we need the boys to be free. Let them, free the guys that got locked up over this bullshit. It's so many other things, and they want to do all of these things that really aren't even about us. Honestly, as Black people, is to me, it's just about showing other white people or other people, hey, look, we did this. We don't know what they want. We gave them a seat. We gave them a month, and now we gave them a seat on the bus for the month, and we took Aunt Jemima and her scarf off the box. What more do you people want? But we want real shit that's gonna have us not getting killed in the street. We want real shit that's gonna have us not having fucking weak ass elections where we gotta still deal with Governor Kemp and all his bullshit and all of that type of stuff. All of these kinds of games that they're playing with our lives every day, and they just want to do something that's cute to make us think, something is really happening.
Yeah.
And shout out to Chris Carlton. Thanks for that. And it's also too part of the empty platitudes is always talking about the same people. Like, no disrespect to Rosa Parks, but we got Claudette Colvin, we got Medgar Evers, we got Phyllis Wheatley, we got like on and on, Harriet Tubman. I mean, she may be another one that is polarized too, like we always hear. They won't even put her on the damn $10 bill or whatever it is. Remember, they held that shit up. They were like, oh, we're gonna do that, and then like what, 15 years later, I don't think she's on anything yet. Right. So why are you even talking about it if you're not going to do it? I don't even want to hear it. Like, shut up. How about you do it and then tell us about it instead of telling us about it and then like getting our hopes up and then we don't got shit. Right. So fuck y'all.
The thing is that we do have to understand at the same time, like, you know, of course, representation matters. There are certain things that make you feel, you know, appreciative, prideful, and all of that. So to that extent, like if she were placed on the money, that, you know, it would be a good thing and we would appreciate it. But at the same time, that doesn't take away the fact, like, you can have all these, you know, these Harriet Tubmans in your pocket, but you know the system is still the system. So you could be sitting around with these $10 and looking at your Harriet Tubman, but you're still getting screwed every day in taxes, and your Harriet Tubmans are just washing away, you know, because the way that the system is set up. So it's just so many things that really need to be fixed, and not you can't just put lipstick on a pig and think that, you know, somebody want to take her out on a date. It's still a pig, right? Even I don't care if it's that Rihanna lipstick. It don't matter. It's still a pig.
Yep. So y'all were talking about schools real quick. I want to show you this. Like, Kelly's like bracing. I warned y'all today. I didn't make it off the first page of the page that I look for videos. I didn't make it off the first page. With all these crazy videos, y'all out there wilding.
What you mean? I'm just that wig. I'll come to it.
Let me see.
So, Matt, I'm not sure. I don't want to talk about your personal life unless you want to talk about it. But you were an administrator. You worked at a school. What do you? How do you discipline that? What do you? Obviously, that's disrespect to a teacher, right? But what?
I don't even know. I'm at lost of words. I'm at a whole loss of words.
Part of me is sitting there laughing at the kids.
Right. I feel bad. I'm laughing as a parent.
Oh my, yeah.
I don't know, because for me, I understand. I understand the lady's frustration.
Oh my God.
She
didn't have nothing to say, babe.
However,
she just went back in the
classroom. I'm saying before that, like when the young lady first threatened to snatch her wig off.
Right.
I probably would shut my door and go in my classroom and leave her ass out in the hallway in the first place. But
no,
that's you.
No, we going toe to toe. First of all, I ain't asked nobody nothing if my wig is not properly installed. We're not doing that. We're not getting into the altercations if I know that my weave is holding on by one bobby pin.
Okay, so you're saying the weave wasn't secure because she just it came off real fast.
Yeah,
do it.
Right.
She didn't know what school she was in because it looked like all of these kids don't care about nothing.
They
that's
don't.
What I'm saying, like when she was like, "Well, do it," then like she should have known. Like this child is probably actually gonna do it.
Right, because she was set up though. She was set up because the video was rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like he saw it later. He had the video ready. So that means that he knew to pull that shit out and he knew something was gonna happen. Yeah. Right. I saw that and I was like, I don't even know what's going on in schools today. Because Doug, what do you got?
What the hell were all the kids sitting out in the hallway for? There were chairs and shit. What the fuck was going on? That's a lot of trouble. Like they're all just lined up.
Right.
Wait a minute. Are they in front of the lockers?
Yeah. Look, right. Like
this must be alternative school.
The,
I'm terrible. This
right.
is
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Did they charge admission or something? Is that why there were so many seats?
Right.
Right, secure the wig.
They go
Exactly.
right. Well, take the wigs off.
Right. And
Take
then,
the wig
right,
off.
you gotta beat her to the punch. You're like, oh, you gonna snatch it
Oh,
off?
the-
Right, exactly.
You're
See, if I was
right.
that would be a
Because see, yeah, that was her mistake because she
Right.
the child. Because I'm not saying if I'm saying do it, then I'm fully prepared for you to do it, and I'm gonna be ready to lay some hands or something. Because otherwise, if I'm not prepared, right, breathe the word. If I'm not prepared, then I'm not making that challenge. I'm like, well,
Right.
I'm good, so okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Get your ass out of my
looked a little
class if you're gonna be
shy.
doing
She
all
wasn't
that.
Right.
Like she was a little shy.
Or like Callisto says, like have it ready. Like you ain't taking this. Let's go.
Me,
Right.
that's exactly what
Right.
I would have pulled the wig off, took my earrings out. What is we doing?
That- right. Then yeah. Then you take
Oh yeah, you want to snatch it? Okay, and then you take the air out the balloon because of course.
right.
Once
That's
you
what I was
done
gonna
it,
say.
then you
Right.
got all the kids making all that noise. The teacher's embarrassed, and
like
it's only one way to go from there, and that's down. That's all you got.
Right.
Going down.
Because you damn sure ain't gonna chase the girl down and beat her up, because then you're going to jail. So what?
Right. And you lose your job and all that. Right. Right. But like JC's is right. Stadium seating for that shit. I couldn't even be an administrator. I mean, Matt, you could talk about it. I couldn't even be an administrator now.
I've heard some stories. It's really something. Honestly, I love the babies. I miss them, but to a large extent, I'm glad I got out when I did.
Yeah, because these kids are like going crazy.
It's really something. It's tough. You really gotta love the job, and you gotta have people that back you up. That's one of the hardest parts. When you don't have people that back you up between administration and the parents, it's like you really between a rock and a hard place. So when you have that, but the other thing is like with this video, it just makes you think that
They knew something was about to go down. Stop it. Don't even act like you didn't know that shit. Don't act like it was spontaneous. You knew it was going to happen. So anyway, go on, Matt.
it just makes you think like in terms of the relationship and wonder like what things were like. Obviously, you can see that it was building up or whatever, and that's why they were already recording, because it was like they could tell things were getting stirred up, yada yada. So it's just really so tough, because a lot of times you don't have the parents. If the parents aren't backing you up in these cases, you're pretty much almost helpless. You're almost at the whatever you call it of the children, you know. But the important thing for me, my thing was always like relationships. I work my best to build my relationship with you and your family, and that way we can avoid these kinds of problems, because I know we got that relationship. Not to say it always worked perfectly, but it helped a hell of a lot. And then if I can't make it happen with you, I need to find somebody else who will, because I just can't get myself in that position. Like, it's real easy. It's easier said than done. We get caught up, you know, emotions get the best of us. Pride. When you get your wig snatched, you know, you really got pride. you really, you know, you back up against the wall and put in the corner at that point. So it's like, you know, you likely to be coming out swinging. So it's just a matter of trying to do your best to avoid them situations at all costs, you know, to help yourself out.
Oh man. Doug, do you so I don't know if y'all warned us that we might lose one of y'all in a minute or two. Is that still true or
I don't know. You told him to get the
I can't drive nowhere. I'm intoxicated.
Oh yeah. Tell the kid we're good. Kid's gonna get a ride home.
All right. Real quick, Doug, I have another fast, funny clip, and then we'll get to what you want to talk about here. But I want to know if y'all ever in this situation. So
They late. The thing is pulling off.
Oh.
they late.
This Matt picking up the kids.
Whoa.
So y'all ever be so late to something that you have like all these people waiting for you and you feel like a fucking idiot? And look. but real quick, at the same time though, y'all on the cruise, shut the fuck up and go to the bar and drink and shut up. Like, but at the same time though, you're on a cruise. Where you going? Where are you going? You're gonna sit in your room. You're gonna go to the buffet. Matt's probably gonna do some vaping. We're gonna have some. We're gonna have some
on the Lido deck.
Right. We're gonna have some fun, but like, so I understand, but I don't. How does that clip jump off to you? I get it, but I don't.
What you don't get, like people being
As far
late.
as them, cheering them on.
Cheering them on.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but I don't. I understand it, but I don't.
I think
I got it. I got a solution. I think that they already had been at the bar because drinks are free and they didn't have nothing else to do. People like to act up, so maybe that could have been a part of it. They were on
Right.
Maybe they were holding them up and they were all mad, waiting like, why are we sitting here?
Right, but where are you going, though, Kelly? Where are you going? You're on a cruise. Where you're gonna go in the middle of the fucking ocean and right, like what? Look, yeah, Doug, you got anything for this mess?
Hey, I wouldn't be cheering those motherfuckers on. I'd be like, boo! I'd be
holding us up. Shit.
Yeah.
Right, but Doug, just have another drink and shut up, though.
Yeah.
I'm with Kelly. I think they probably already might have had one or two, and this was
maybe
the height of their evening. It was their excitement for them.
Like the infamous Bronx cheer, like yay!
Right, and that was probably the most exciting part of the whole damn cruise. So, I've never been on a cruise. Y'all ever been on one?
I have not.
No,
I have. I have.
Doug, is that true? Is that true?
Mostly depends on where you're cruising to, because you can go into ports of call and all that shit. But like, you're on a time schedule. Like, all right, you could go here, and you got like 8 hours to go do whatever the fuck you're gonna do there, and you better be on the ship or we're leaving. And
right, I was gonna
not be a part of that.
I was gonna say, when is the time limit for them to just leave your ass at some port on some island?
That's a good question.
And how the fuck do you get home then, Doug?
You hit your ride with the pirates, maybe. I don't know.
But Doug, do they tell you that like if you aren't back by a certain time, they're going to leave your ass?
Yeah, they say you must be back by this time because we will be leaving.
And do they give leeway or not? Or was that like?
No, they're on a schedule, man.
So those people got lucky then.
They very much got lucky. Yes.
Oh, damn. I might be hurting in that. I'm just because I'm one of these late motherfuckers. I don't know if I'll hold the whole cruise ship.
I was say they have to have like a time frame for black people. Like they gotta give us like 15 minutes for real. Like it's gotta be like, everybody else be here at 12, black folks at 12:30, and then we leaving y'all asses after that.
Right.
It's like the IEP, we get extra time on the test,
Right.
That it very much is.
Oh no.
Doug, what's going on? What you got, buddy?
So I did pour a beer, but it's, like I said, I'm sticking with NAs tonight because of getting over a cold. But I picked up this Partake Blonde, which is, so this is is from Partake, which that's the only one I got from them. That's golden, bubbly, easy drinking brew. They position it as a blonde. It tastes a bit more like if you had a blonde and an IPA mixed together. To me, it's got a little hoppiness, but not too much. Super drinkable, very light. I unfortunately washed my black bearded nerd glass in a dishwasher, and I messed up the letters, and I'm so mad because I really dig this. It's the hand wash only glass, and I was dumb and threw it in the dishwasher.
So Matt and Kelly, y'all do any NA stuff? Any NA beers or NA cocktails or mocktails, or y'all just cut to it?
I hadn't thought about that. I don't know because I haven't had. I've been doing my best to stay away from beer, liquor, all of that is failing tonight. But for the most part, I've been really trying to stay away. So I hadn't really given it thought to like a non-alcoholic beer or anything like that.
Man, they're everywhere. And also they're actually starting to be like flavorful light beer. So it's not like when we grew up, non-alcoholic beer was just nasty tasting shit that we wouldn't even like entertain it. You know what I mean? I'd rather have
I've been drinking Sierra Mist for all this shit.
Yeah, right. But now they're coming out tasting like beers and tasting like I mean that Doug had a mocktail y'all saw probably in the green room. Doug had a mocktail that sounded fantastic. So like
super good.
Yeah, it's starting to happen here as far as that goes, because sometimes you want that taste of alcohol, but it's 12 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's time to start working, baby. Let's go.
Right. And we have a resident, as Daniel's saying here, if I ever have questions, I know Matt's that we have a resident NA expert that's in the beer group and that we could always ask. And Doug really likes it because they deliver right to your house, right, Doug?
Yeah, you ain't gonna go any place.
Yeah.
So does Atlanta do they got beer delivery down there?
Yeah. It has Drizzly and you can order on Dash and stuff too.
Okay. All right. Well, right before Matt really gets into it, Matt, tell us we usually do this at the top of the hour, but tell us what's the latest going on with the Black Father Foundation. For those who don't know it, give them a little introduction. I'm a proud working member, I guess we would call it. Now that we have the founder here, it's best to let you talk about it.
Yeah.
And thank you. So just quickly for anybody, bring people up to speed who don't know, started Black Fathers in 2008 on Facebook. We have been running for 13 years, 94.6 thousand members, soon to be 95, on our way to 100,000 members. And it's provided a space for Black men to get together and talk shit about their baby mamas. No. Well, a lot of times that is. Yeah, exactly. A lot of times, talk shit about their baby mamas. Exactly. Right, Greg is on our admin team, so he knows.
I mean, no lies told, but yeah.
Talk about how much they make us want to, go to jail sometime. But anyway, but it's really become a space where we can share all the ups and downs, commiserate and celebrate and all of that good stuff.
Showcase our kids.
Yeah, exactly. And ask everybody to wish them happy birthday and all of that good stuff. But yeah, that's something that's real that I actually do very much love about it, is that we do showcase our children and show their successes as much as we show their failures too, because some shit is crazy, and we throw that out there too. Some of them failures, we got to put them out there. But definitely to showcase and show their successes. A lot of athletic children out there, and also very scholarly. And that's one thing I always push people to show more, because we love to show them when they winning the Heisman and when they doing all of this athletic stuff. But I want people to know, we got academics as well as athletes too. So show the robotics competition the same way you show the wrestling match, or the and that whole sort of thing. So just to get a whole real picture. So the foundation came about. I got into a Facebook program, or now the company formerly known as Facebook.
Never.
I hate that name. I hate it so bad. Anyway, so got into the program, and we decided to start the foundation to provide resources for Black men, and to fund individuals directly through grants, and then also to fund other organizations that work with Black men. So the whole gist of it really is working to provide resources so that Black men can be the best fathers they can be. We are involved in shaking off a lot of stigmas and misconceptions and that whole sort of thing. So there are a lot of things that we go through that people who are realistic about where things stand understand that as Black men, we there are a lot of things that are universal in fatherhood, but then there's some things that are really particular to us as Black men, especially like as we talked about in this country, facing racism, so on and so forth. So that's why we have a very specific
need.
God, too much whiskey, but niche you could say, or focus or whatever, in terms of really focusing on Black men. And so it's about really changing perceptions, but then also changing realities. So you give people a whole nother picture that they may not see otherwise. You watch the news, you see all this craziness, you see Black kids snatching teachers' wigs and shit like that, and you can develop that perception and think that's all we are. Oh, the kids are all animals. They got no respect, yada yada yada. But then you work to show people another side, so that's not the only viewpoint they get, and then they can decide where they want to go. But when you don't have all the information, that's where we get stereotypes from, and biases and all of that, because you're missing a lot. So we provide a means where we can provide these resources, help Black men be the best fathers they can be, and then also shape the way society sees us as Black men and understands us for who we are, by us telling our own truths. We don't need the media to do it for us. We do it ourselves. So
Yep. And sometimes we have to shape our own perception of ourselves too. There's a lot of that going on in the group too.
Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a whole lot, because it's the same kind of deal though, because you only know what you know, right? And the way that you perceive things based on the way you grow up, the way you've been taught, and all those sorts of things. So a lot of us too, we have these perceptions of what it means to be a man, what it means to do this, and how white people are, and so on and so forth, and nothing is the same all across the board. I've met some batshit crazy white folks. I met some batshit crazy black folks. All of that type of stuff. So it's all of that. So it's a lot of us, as Black people amongst ourselves, also really coming to grips with the way that we perceive things, and what is that based on, and all of that, and all the other ways that we can look at things. So that's what I really love about the group. I was saying that to somebody earlier, because we're not, we're absolutely not monolithic, even though we're all Black, but we all also have different experiences. Some of us grew up one way, some of us grew up another way, some of us don't believe we should ever let our kids hear a cuss word, and some people are like, their kids running around and saying whatever, or like we had Angelo's post where he was talking about the mom said the son was going to bust in one day and see her with a mouthful of dick. So
who said that?
Angelo said his wife said that to the son, because the son would just come in their room, and they was getting ready to get busy. Lord. So the mother was like, "Yeah, boy, you gonna bust in here one day, and you gonna see your mama."
Don't say it again.
You gonna
oh my God!
See your mama with a foot long in her mouth, but but so you know, and then we had somebody else. Why he doesn't knock on the door?
Lock the door.
Oh, I don't know. You gotta ask him. I have no idea. Maybe he thought he did or something. I don't know. Kids these days, you know, they're you know, they figure stuff out.
They got a lot to say.
They do. And they can work around locks oftentimes. But Jesus, she made me forget where I was. Where was I? What was I saying? Oh,
I'm not gonna repeat it.
Somebody else came back, and you know, and they made a post, and it's like, God, what happened to morals and values? You know, we got parents talking to kids any kind of way, and you know, you got to respect both sides. It's like, just because that's not the way that I feel, we talk to our kids like I'm reckless for real.
And he didn't used to be like this. He used to be really serious. Like, we're not listening to 92Q in this car, and that was the R&B and rap and stuff station. We wouldn't listen to it. Kids couldn't listen to it. They would have to read the dictionary. Remember?
Shut up,
you did. You did. You are.
I wasn't a Mormon or anything like
you
that.
You were a very serious friend.
I was there, man. I was there.
But yeah, when they were younger, I did my best to, you know, to keep them away from that stuff. And then one day they came home from school singing "Riding Dirty," and I'm like, "Fuck it, what can I do?" You know, like,
all out the door then. All out the door. All right.
So it is what it is, and that's honestly another thing that came out of the group. Like I made a post, you know, and other people were saying like, "Well, we let our kids listen to stuff, but it's like only if you can explain to me like what it means or something like that, or we have a conversation about it, so you understand like this is not reality. You are not Megan, and you don't need to be running around busting it wide open. But you know, I'm not gonna be able to legitimately stop you from listening to it. So it's like, how do we deal with that? And there's a lot of things. You still have people today who think that they can just create this bubble and like keep their kids away from it. It's not reality. So the best thing to do is to understand what the reality is. They're going to listen to it, but you know, talk to them about it and make them understand, you know, and all of that. You're not running out here. You're not Tariq from Power. You're not going to stand on nobody's corner and, you know, all that kind of shit. So
yeah.
Walk across the whole New York City with no car, no transportation. Anyway.
Do y'all watch Power?
Who?
Power.
Oh man, man! That's what he started talking about Tariq.
Okay.
You have to watch it, right? Come on, y'all got
Power.
Okay. Hold on. Let me mention one more thing about the group, and then we'll get onto that. One thing that Matt did not mention, but is really important in my opinion to mention about the group, and there's so many different aspects of levels. So, like, of course, Matt's not going to be able to articulate all of it on one given sitting. But one thing that I found very powerful about the group is that we're just not Americans. We got Cameroonians, we got Nigerians, we got Kenyans, we got black fathers in Europe, we have black fathers in Asia, we have black fathers it's a worldwide group. And those guys bring their opinions to the group, and they bring them in a way that is very educational for us Americans who have a view of black fathers that is different than a view if you are born and raised in Cameroon. I want to hear that motherfucker talk. I want to hear what he has to say. I want to hear what we look like. And there's a lot of give and take on that in the group, and it's fantastic and it's beautiful and I love it. And you also, Matt, real quick, you have that aspect of, I don't know if it's going on more now than it was before, but when the pandemic started, and whether it be the restrictions and all this other shit that's going on, we had a whole bunch of black men move from America to Africa, and they were posting pictures and saying, I mean, because that the summer of 2020 was just rough on black people. It just was, and it's a lot of people left. Literally left, Doug, and went back to Africa. Come back where you came from. Well, some of us did, and and they're reporting that they, it was, great, and it did so many different things for their family, and they were able to bring up their kids with a whole bunch of kids that look like them and around them, and so yeah, I don't know, Matt, if you want to respond to any of that, but that was a powerful thing for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I always love the fact that we do have a real global presence in a meaningful way, and it's not just like a couple people who live in another country. It's a whole lot of people in our group, and I really appreciate anytime they do make a post or chime in and respond, because I like, just personally, I like to get other perspectives, because it's very easy, especially in this country where we are so Amero-centric, and and think we are just the epicenter of everything,
And we're not.
to not really even be interested. It'd be easy to not even be interested in other people's perspectives, but I really am, especially with. I came at some point early on. It really hit me, because I was really only thinking, like, even when I first started the group, I was really thinking just specifically as a Black American and the shit that I have to deal with in this country, right? But I made a post and I asked people about it, about how, it is for them. And I wanted to get to perspectives from other countries. And that's what really made me think about how it's not all the same. And that's beautiful, because if you go to, in places in Africa, and especially Africa, where we are really the majority, and you look around and it's just all Black people around you, then you don't deal with that racism in the same way. I mean, and I'm definitely not saying across the board, because obviously we know, like, with what's happened in South Africa, we know, and in other colonized countries in Africa and all of that, there are places where, even though we're the majority, but we're not necessarily in a position of power, to be in that same kind of way. So you do still deal with that racism, but it's just not something that's all across the board. And even then, you still can have in different ways and different stories and all of that. So I always love to hear from people in other countries, to know how they live and really get an understanding. Because I think just in general, it's always better when, just with the more we know about each other and the more we understand about each other, Black, white, Asian, whatever, it always allows for a richer life, period, when you have a better understanding of how other people live, and you're not just centered around the way that you do things. So yeah, I love that about our group, for real. Different perspectives. And I always have to remind people, though, that people, all of us, even just in the United States, alone, we come from different backgrounds and stuff, so we don't all do things the same way. There's certain things people in Louisiana might do that they don't necessarily do in New York or California versus Florida, so we all have to understand we got different backgrounds, we got different experiences, and we got different truths. So we have to, respect that, even if it's not something you agree with, it's not your everyday life, but still, respect that difference, and know that just because you don't do it that way doesn't mean there's something wrong with it.
Amen. Doug, anything?
I don't know really how to follow that up, but
right. Okay. Okay.
Because yeah, I mean, having different perspectives, we've always talked about that in the show, that having different perspectives is really super important, and making sure we represent more than just the typical beer drinker. So I think it's great that we have you on and be able to talk about all this stuff.
Appreciate that. And before, I just want to pause and say, Greg, I don't know how it took me so long to get to this, but you really given me. I'm loving the whole Russell Wilson look that you got going on right now. Yes, sir.
I've gotten more and more compliments, and I haven't done jack to any of this. It's just it's a COVID haircut. Period. I'm still weird about going to go to the barbershop, so I haven't cut it, and it's just out, and it's just So thank you though. I take that. I'll take that as a compliment. I know you meant it to be. Anyway, we Doug and I pride ourselves on going from serious to crazy shit to serious to crazy shit. So tell us about Power. What's Power? Why should I know about it? I just Googled it and it's on everything. It's been around for like 6-7 years. What's going on with it?
I could not believe you haven't seen Power.
I know.
No.
It is,
maybe you haven't, just didn't realize it.
So it is like it's a drama series on Stars. Has a boatload of like super good actors. It was created by a young lady named Courtney Kemp, and a lot of people do not know that it was a woman who created this show, because 50 Cent is an executive producer. So everybody thinks that 50 did all of this stuff, but it's actually a woman who actually created it. And it is a good show. And they're doing like a Power universe where it's like kind of like Marvel, and every character has a story, and they're going to break off and do all of these things. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's like New York Undercover times 10. Did y'all watch that?
What was it again?
New York Undercover. Oh, man, y'all from Philly?
Moving on.
I'm not from Philly, so yeah.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I can't get away from that one.
Greg, we got
I know.
Greg, before they try to snatch a black card,
let's talk about food.
Oh, okay. What? All right, Kelly. What have you been making that's been crazy lately? Anything? How is the Atlanta? Is the Atlanta food scene as cool as advertised? Is it good? What's going on?
I think that there is a lot here. I think that foodies, for a real foodie, it's overrated. I feel like I'm.
Oh, okay.
I think food here is overrated. The seafood sucks.
Really?
Yeah, well, you know we from Baltimore.
We from Baltimore.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, you taste the difference with the seafood. The other thing here is that their chicken wings are like the size of my thumb, and I have a serious problem with that. So, like, really,
some small ass chicken wings,
some pigeon wings.
Yeah, they snatching these chickens out of preschool now. They're not even letting them go to kindergarten. They're snatching them early.
Straight up out the womb. They ain't had time to walk and get no muscles yet.
But are y'all sure that that's a Atlanta thing, or is that a pandemic thing? Because the pandemic has hurt wings, man. Like it's gone downhill. It's hard to find them, and when you do, they're like these little bitty.
Yeah.
I don't know. There might be some supply chain issues going on with that. Maybe I'm not sure.
Supply chain. Rick Ross had to change the thigh stop from wing stop. So yeah, it's definitely something going on.
It's
something going on.
Yeah. So I mean,
but
their thing here is lemon pepper wings.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't just.
We haven't done a ton. So it's a couple of things. One, like I said, we are outside of the city itself, and where we are, it's so much around here. So I mean, I know that still to a degree it counts as the Atlanta metropolitan area.
Yeah, but it's
not like Atlanta proper. But out where we are, it's a whole lot of stuff. It's a lot of variety.
A lot of celebrities with their restaurants.
Yeah,
you would think they were good. They're not.
It's some.
Disappointing.
We have to get around more though. We haven't been a ton of places, especially in Atlanta itself. So I don't know that it's necessarily fair for us to judge right now. It's still a little early.
Well, and y'all moved there during the pandemic, right?
Yes.
So then we're still in this COVID haze of like, I don't know. Like I haven't been out to eat in a long ass time. I can only imagine it's not the same like it used to be. they're cutting back menus. At least up here, menus are half what they used to be. You can't get anybody to work anymore, whether it be, So you got staff shortages, you got supply chain issues.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying y'all wrong. I'm just saying like y'all kind of moved. I wouldn't say y'all moved at a bad foodie time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I think they deserve a little bit, but your bones are your bones though. Like, so if you were, you know what I'm saying? Like if you were, like me, you were heavy set going into the pandemic. You know what I mean? You're probably heavy set down. You probably still got your chops. You know, like my point is that like if you were a weak restaurant serving pigeon wings before the pandemic, you probably out of business or you know, you ain't looking good. If you were a strong, you know, restaurant with good business bones, you know, business sense, great business plan, all that, you are probably still doing decent. So there is a level of like, yeah, I got to take it like it's a pandemic, but there's also a level of like, you good. So if you're good during before the pandemic, you should be at least pretty decent during the pandemic. So
like,
so there's that angle for sure. In my opinion.
Like Slutty Vegan for sure. Like she's opening restaurants all over the place.
Yeah.
Right.
Still in the middle of this and doing phenomenally well. She's getting ready to open one, if I'm not mistaken, one in Baltimore, one in New York. She's all over the place. So she's definitely found a way to make it work.
Right. I work in the food industry. It's hard to keep people longer than training. And you know, Doug and I talk about this a lot. Like, I believe, like, especially the restaurant industry, took a big hit as far as employment goes, because I think there's a lot of, and maybe Lord wants to talk about this or verify this, a lot of people who worked there were part-time. So meaning many of them were working like second jobs, you know, picking up Friday nights, Thursday nights, you know what I mean? Like, you know, getting a little extra money. And now for whatever reason, whether they feel safe or not, whether they like mask mandates or not, whether they like vaccine mandates or not, whatever, there's a whole bunch of different factors of people saying, look, no, I ain't taking that second job or I ain't doing that part-time shit. You know what I'm saying? So fuck y'all. And like, you know, and that cut, like, I would say a lot out of like, you know, restaurant. I bartended once or twice a week. You know what I mean? Like just for some extra money to get out, to like have some friends. You know what I'm saying? Like some people just have jobs, Kelly, just to meet friends. Some people have jobs for the social angle, and like that all evaporated, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and now it's like I need work, so I'm gonna work. Well, I don't have to work. I got enough money to stay at home to be safe or not to deal with the Karens or any. I mean, there's so many different angles of this that like it's just really crazy. So
I had a couple of conversations with our son about the jobs and like trying to find the right one, and him being 17 and they want him to work only weekends. It's just a lot. It was a lot trying to navigate through that whole food service thing, because it's rough, and there's a lot of people that's working full time that they just haven't come on work full time. Some kids, so
and it's now it's something because there's so much need that like even with our son, we were just talking. He's on like his third, fourth job since he's been down here. So it's like if you know this place paying $2 more an hour over here, I'm going over here. You out of luck, you know, because people now with the need being the way it is, there's a lot of options. I know at least here. I don't know how it is everywhere, but here everybody's hiring.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of places are out of luck because they just can't compete. You got the place up the street that's paying a couple more dollars more an hour, and everybody wants to go there. So now your business is suffering.
Doug, what's going on with your kids? Are they working?
Well, my oldest is at school and he works. None of my other kids work yet because mostly COVID stuff. You know, other activities and all that jazz. And we're fortunate enough that they don't necessarily have to, because when I was 14, I had to. I didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. It's really tricky. And I think the other thing that's folks that are in the food service industry, a lot of people died that were those folks too. We had a lot of people go because they're frontline folks, and they, I get that there is a real struggle to retain people, but and especially in food service, because that's a high turnover industry. So is it is.
Right.
And then you add on top of it where people are like, well, I don't really feel safe doing this, or I don't want to do it. And they're, there's a lot more people who are, in their teens and 20s who stay at home because so they don't have rent. There's a lot of different factors in it, and it's just a big until we're at a point where COVID isn't the ruling thing for the day. It's gonna be like that, I think.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, and Lord says 50% of people that he interviews are looking for a second job and extra money. And that kind of trends with what I was saying before. I don't know. He says everyone thinks about who pays more, but I can guarantee 40 hours a week, most places will say 15 and give you 20 or 30 at this point. Wow. Okay. Damn. Okay. And then you have to deal with idiots like this.
Get out here, boy.
Don't touch me.
Go.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Look, some of these videos Doug and I show, and like nobody, like you act a fool, and then the thing ends. I'm sorry, I'm not a violent person, but I like that he got his clock clean, like immediately, like karma, like right, like boom, like right.
Get out here, boy.
Don't touch me.
Go.
That thing was a clunk, like the way it
The prank in the bed. What did he say in the bed?
I don't even know.
Did you hear what he said?
Hold on. This clip is so fast. So much happens in like 2 seconds.
Oh, you want to break up my establishment? You want to
right? Shut the fuck up, right?
Get out here, boy.
Don't touch me.
Go.
You just
He looked like Nate Robinson when he fought what was that, Jake Paul?
Yes. I would have gave Buddy a raise, right? Me too. Me too. Right. He risked his life for the job. Yup. But like that's what you got to deal with in the restaurant. I mean, that was a local thing, but like in the restaurant industry, Doug, I saw like a more than a few clips. I just didn't put them up. While people in restaurants just throwing fucking, the one lady went into the counter and just threw all the shit off the counter. And like, because it was fun, because she's like, the lady was like, look, I can't help you. And then the lady was like, well, let me see the manager. So this lady, I should have showed this one. Doug, this lady she like kneeled down below the counter, and then she came back up and says, I'm the manager. And the lady just lost her fucking mind. It was hilarious. And then she cleared the counter, and then the lady like went around and was like, get out now. Like, so like, I don't know. So Lord Vito, I don't know who you are. Thanks for commenting and watching tonight. But have you you said you're in the restaurant industry. Have you seen or dealt with any of these crazy people in there making life worse for the 2 or 3 employees that y'all got? You know what I mean? Because like they're short staffed. Of course your shit's gonna take longer. Of course your shit's probably gonna be more. The wings are probably like $3 or $4 more. And this is what happens. They're a thumbnail too. But this is what happens though. Yes, JHG, the yacht woman. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
Y'all see that shit was a fucking
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I was thinking it and I didn't say anything.
Okay, so everybody saw that one. Okay, cool. I didn't.
Oh my God. Kelly didn't see it. You got it?
Yeah.
Can you show it?
I can look for it real quick. We can talk about something I can figure it out.
I watched that thing
Doug,
like
what do you think?
7 times at least.
Did y'all see the one last week we showed? Doug wanted to show it. The Golden Corral.
No.
Oh my God! It was like this battle royale because there was like one piece of shitty steak left at the Golden Corral, and they were like throwing chairs and tables, and it was bonkers, and it was just outside. It was in Ben Salem, right outside of Philly.
Hold on.
You'll see a chair. You'll see a chair go up in the background.
Oh,
right. I know how it's going to break loose. So, Doug, where was this again?
It was in Ben Salem, right outside of Philly.
Okay, yeah.
But they were throwing like baby chairs and shit like that.
Over some steak, I'm pretty sure, right, Doug?
Yeah, it was over. There was no more steak left at the buffet. There was one more, and they were fighting over the last piece.
Jerry Springer show. Gather some black eyes in that motherfucker, some broken bones.
Look at.
No plates in sight. Where's the food?
I'm like, neck.
Wow.
Yeah. So Lord works overnights and he has to deal with people. But I tell the people I interview, it's an introvert's job, dream job. He's a baker overnight. Yeah, we have crazy people come into the store in the middle of the night sometimes. I just make sure the doors are locked and I call the cops.
Oh my goodness.
Man, yeah. One guy tried to throw that table on the way right. I was like,
please, no.
Look, that waitress, we're not right. Like your job ain't worth that much, lady. Don't be right. It's a Golden Corral. Right. Wow, man. Yes, chair mayhem. Right. So yeah. And then here's one.
What?
Yeah, cute.
You wanna go, bitch? Meet me outside, bitch. Exactly, dumbass bitch.
I don't think you want to meet her outside. She just beat your ass. Yeah. So she got slapped.
Wow.
I'm not like.
That's that white on white crime that's out of control.
And that was a hard slap too. We heard that that was like
right. Does that make it like worse because it was a slap? You know what I mean? Like, isn't there something just like there's like you're insulting them while hitting them at the same time?
Yes.
What the 5 fingers say to the face?
Right. So yeah, y'all out there wilding, and it's part of the reason why it makes me scared to go out to even eat and take my family. And not really scared. I mean, I'm not scared. It's just it's definitely more about the pandemic and people just being crazy. But like,
did you find the yacht woman yet?
No. JHG, did you put that in there? Yeah, she slapped her. She got a fist in return. Right. Like I like the instant karma. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to lie to you. The instant karma is just too much for me.
Yacht woman was hilarious. Talking about just against my HIPAA law. Yeah, she was like, what, you violating my HIPAA rights or something like lady.
Yeah.
So not that.
Right. So I don't really have much more for you. We're almost at the 2-hour mark.
Well,
Doug, do you have anything you're watching, Doug?
I do. So.
Here we go.
I thought you were gonna do the little intro.
No, we can.
You don't have to. You don't have to. I'll share it here. Hold on.
We can. Yeah, yeah. You share yours, and then let me grab what Matt wants to see here. Here we go. Y'all see it, right? Y'all see it.
Yeah.
We have.
Okay, 1 second. Hi, how can I help you? What the fuck is your problem? I just done and I need to get out of here. It doesn't work like that. It takes days. I want to talk to the manager. Okay, 1 second. Hi, how can I help you? What the fuck is your problem? You're acting like you own the place. I want to rent a yacht. Does it look like you have yachts? I see them all around there. We don't have any yachts for rent. I see them. Whose yachts are they? They're personal yachts. I guess you don't want to make no money here at this restaurant. I guess we don't. What? Oh! That is against my HIPAA law.
No, it isn't.
Give me that.
Did she say
No, it isn't.
My HIPAA laws.
Her personal HIPAA law.
You're right.
Ma'am.
And like Doug says, she's fucking wrong, by the way. It's not against your HIPAA law. That's health or something. Like you crazy. You crazy. Man.
Put these magazines up and get out of here.
Right. Anywho, real quick. What's up, Doug?
Yeah, so this is a dumb thing that my wife started watching. She watched the first season. So this is this like a kind of a social experiment show where these people go and they're single, they're looking to get married, they want to find something that's, a lasting relationship, a lifelong relationship, but they don't get to actually see each other, and they get to talk like through this wall, but they can't see each other. And they actually, the show, I guess, is they get engaged before they even physically meet.
Yeah.
Which, no. Like I listen. I'm all for the idea of like you should love a person for who they are, warts and all that jazz. But if you're going to be with someone, there's always exceptions, but you're going to want someone you're compatible with physically and mentally. And how do you know? You know. So it's a weird thing because like
it's a dating show.
Yeah. But the thing is like it's really cringy because there's one guy who goes in and he asks like several women like basically like how big are you? Like I was like,
you see my silhouette.
Yeah, like this isn't what that you're supposed to not really worry about that, but okay. So yeah, it's mindless watch. That's all it is,
Yeah, coming from the guy who's been with someone for 2 decades and still not married. Yeah, I'm not cool with the let's get engaged and I can't see you. Right. What the fuck, Doug? I don't know. It's intriguing enough for me to look at it, actually. But I'm also a self-admitted 90-day fiance watcher. So that shit's crazy ass too. Like people meeting each other and fucking going to like Russia and shit, and then being catfished and all that other crazy shit. And we got to get married in 90 days. It's like what y'all on a next level craziness, in my personal opinion. Like you're talking about marriage, so to me, look, I know I'm probably never going to get married. I'm not married, but I think I respect marriage more than some people who are married, who get married after like a couple months and like y'all don't even know each other. You haven't even smelled his shit yet. You haven't even he didn't even fart on you yet. Like you haven't even like right. Like have you picked up his drunk ass from his friend and had to like grab him and take him into your house and like take him up the stairs and deal with him? Have you dealt with any of that? Right. Have you dealt with his ex-wife? Have you dealt with his kids? Like, come on. Like, no, there's so much more to marriage. And I'm not even married. Yeah. And y'all just out there just disrespecting it, in my personal opinion. And shows like that, where I know it's a joke, but shows like that disrespect marriage, in my personal opinion, because again, you're not really giving it the fucking seriousness that it needs. If you're acting like you're going to be with someone for the rest of your fucking life, like this is the rest of your life we're supposed to be talking about. But you know, we're in a divorce society, so you know, people get spouses like they get fucking houses. Yeah. Starter husband, starter house, starter. No bitches, no. I'm not even religious, and I know religious people take that like I'm not even religious. But if you say you get married and do it right. Like stay together, work it out. What the fuck's going on? Sorry, that's my marriage rant for the. Sorry.
We watched.
So let the married. I'm gonna let the married. Yeah, I'm gonna let the married people talk now because now, why is the non-married person talking about it like this? But anyway, I'll let y'all talk.
No, that's true.
You definitely got valid points for sure.
We was together how many?
We was when
we got married.
Yeah, I'm all hot and bothered about marriage.
We was together 4 years before we got married.
Yeah.
Wow, we had a whole toddler.
See, right, right. And how long y'all been married?
16.
Right. Doug, how long you been married?
The last year was our 10-year anniversary, and I was previously married. So,
and how long did y'all date before you got married?
About a year and a half.
Okay, right. And did y'all live together too?
Yeah.
Right.
Much to the chagrin of her family, but
no.
Well, fuck her family. Sorry. No, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm glad that Doug is so happy about like laughing. This is why we shouldn't do this shit live. This is why we should tape, Doug. Okay?
No.
Right.
Do it live.
Right. Well, and I don't mean her brothers. Her brothers are awesome people. They're fun, and both of them have been on here. So they're great people. I'm kind of talking about her parents who probably will never see this, so that's fine. But like,
that's okay.
Right. So like, I didn't mean. I had to backtrack. That's not cool.
Yeah,
but
it was funny.
It was funny, but it wasn't cool. So we'll move on. Wow, Doug, it's taken us a couple years for me to get to a point to where I actually said sorry on this. I've never said sorry before ever. There you go. Look at that, Matt and Kelly. Y'all bring out the worst in me.
That's gross.
You see what happens when we get black people on this shit, Doug. Right. We bring out the worst in each other. Oh, no, on that note, I should just probably leave. What the fuck am I doing here? That was real quick, too. Fuck her family. Damn, man. Harsh, awful. I'm a bad.
And with enthusiasm, you were really.
Oh, I was. I've had. Look, this is my beer, Doug. I can't even blame it on the beer. I had one fucking beer this whole time. Damn it. Anyway, moving on here, so I don't dig another hole. Wife and I just passed 20 years this year. Yup, man. My wife and I together 6 years before we got married. So we got that 20 angle with you, Dan. And we got the 20 angle with y'all too. So it was 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah. So yep. Nearly 4 years before marriage. Yep. That sounds about right. I mean, you can't just jump into this. You gotta date. You have to.
I mean,
yeah, I agree. We watched that Married at First Sight, and that's a whole shit show. But that's why we like it, of course. But
Right.
that's just a really weird thing. Just marrying somebody, and the first time you even see them is at the altar. That's like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And
they
then
don't know nothing about them.
do we ever get recaps and shit? Like, do they be like, oh, let's check it on in a year and see what's going on? And
they do that kind of stuff.
And do we still got anybody together or what?
Yeah,
like,
it's a few of them that still together. Some had kids and everything. So it works for some people because the experts are supposed to be matching with people that they think they would be compatible with anyway. So,
but we got whole cultures that do this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They have arranged marriages, so it's sort of like that. Except I guess I don't know in an arranged marriage how much option you have to call it off after the fact. But I know here, like with Married at First Sight, they have like a time period where they can say, "We want it annulled." So I don't know if you get that option with arranged marriage. So that's something.
I'm gonna speak for everybody here. I don't know if everybody here could be arranged anything. like, no. I mean, maybe Doug. I don't know. Maybe you're the most arrangeable person, but I just don't even see that. Like, right out of all of us, I would have to say maybe you are, but I don't even I don't even see how that would ever remotely work with anybody here. I just don't. It would just not work with me. It just would not work. Like, I don't even care if she was the best person in the world.
Doug's totally arrangeable. Just throw him with anybody. Like,
right. No, I don't. Again, out of us, maybe, but like, I don't see it. I don't.
Yeah.
No.
It's hard. Like, this thinking about all of the shit that we've been through. Like, it's tough because you gotta have a real understanding of that person and just a real desire to be with them for who they are. So if you barely even know who that person is and you're going through some trouble, you're gonna be ready to bail because it's like, why and do I even want to put in this work?
Right. And that's why I think the 90-day fiance people are crazy because 90 days ain't enough to see my crazy.
Okay. I feel like most of them doing it, they want to have relationships with them people.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, cause them guys on there like that. It was one guy. I'm like, man, you ain't had pussy like since pussy had you, and you trying to get this Brazilian sports model and shit like that.
Right.
They were sister wives. Like the sister wives.
Oh, that shows craziness too. Doug, I started watching that shit too because it came on right after 90 days. So I used to just stop, like I just would turn off the TV, but then I left it on one day and I was like, wow, well, this sister, it doesn't sound as crazy on concept as you initially think, Doug. Because he has like 4 wives and like
he having sex with all of them. Tell the truth.
Well, that's part of it. But like, the way the ladies explained it were like, look, it's cool because we have our time, but then he's gone. I don't got to deal with his ass. And I'm like, okay, I can understand that angle of it. But then I don't know if y'all watch it or not. But like, with the COVID, and they all lived in different places. This guy was really, really stringent with his protocols, Doug, where he was the only one. Like, well, the big thing too about it was that like all the sister wives would get together, Doug, and they would raise the kids together. So then, like, there was always a babysitter. There was always someone that you could trust with the kids. And they would chauffeur them back to school, and they would do things together. And it was like a real, like, it was kind of admirable in the way that they had a real family and they kept it together and they all got along. But once COVID rolled in and they were at separate places, then the father was the only one that went to the houses because of protocols and shit. And then it just got all fucked up, Doug. Like, and the kids couldn't see each other because they weren't, like, some people were distancing, some people weren't. And then I think he lost 2 of his fucking wives through COVID because he was so stringent about not trying to get people like sick, but at the same time, he pretty much alienated like his whole family when they were used to being together. So it's a mess. I mean, it was a mess. It is still a mess, but it's just kind of fascinating how like polygamy actually works. And I didn't really like know that until I saw that show. I thought it was crazier than it was. It actually kind of makes more sense than I thought it did after watching the show. How about that? Y'all ever see that shit?
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. What do you think, Kelly? Well, what do you think, Kelly?
It does give you different ways to like try to relieve certain things. I had this conversation with friends a lot. Like we always joke about it. One friend of mine said that she wished that she could get her husband like somebody to just come in to have sex. Okay. Because she just was like, yeah, we have like so many different jobs. And when you look at this show, I thought she was about to say something. When you look at this show, it kind of helps in that sense, like where some of the pressure is, taken off you from all the different things, coming from a woman's perspective.
I had ideas for 20 years. You're late. But anyway. Shit.
Right. And the guy's a little bit of an asshole in Sister Wives too, so there's an aspect of that.
Yes,
but
that's definitely in it for like.
Yeah, you can tell they just trying to get an extra piece. That's all.
Right. But this guy ended up having like 6 kids with each of these kids. Now he's got like 20 kids and shit. Like that. That's too many damn kids. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I love my kids, but like.
Why do you keep having all these kids?
No, thank you.
I think there's only so much love you can give. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's true. Energy and all of that. You gotta
have
to spread around, all of that.
Right. I always make fun of Doug having 6,000 kids and he only has 4. And right. But like right, of course. And I have 2, but like that's double. And we have an older one from her previous marriage. So we have 3 kids, but like I couldn't see myself giving any more love. Like not that I couldn't do it, but like again, that's a lot. I mean, 3 people that's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like
it is.
Let's be realistic about it.
One thing about it, like we have 4, and I know at times I've felt guilty because I felt like I haven't given enough personal attention to some of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you multiply that by 3, like God,
right.
I could that's the thing. Like you can, I don't count other people's money. So if you can spend the money on them, you can take care of them and do all of that thing. That's fine. But there's only so much time to go around. Like everybody can make more money, but you can't make more time. You can't necessarily make even more energy necessarily to give yourself to be able to spread it around.
Right.
So there comes a point when you like, how are you really giving them? And I mean, that's on you. I don't like to judge other people and their parenting and like that.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't feel like as far as the time and energy, like do you really give it to all of these kids? I don't know. Like
man, and I don't know about y'all, but it was worse when they were younger. But now I still feel like the emotional drain. And I'm not trying to be like, pretentious or anything, but sometimes the emotional drain of just trying to be there for them emotionally.
That's another.
It's just like, I mean, right. And then you have a spouse that you should be able to give emotional support to too.
Yeah.
So then if you have a spouse and then you got 4 kids and then it's like, or not even 4, let's just go to 6. Like, how does that all work? And again, if you work that's great. But like for me, it's just like
yeah, like we were talking about, you brought up the Ricos, the family,
right? Doubling down.
Yeah, and I'm looking at them like you can tell that mother be stressed
out.
So like the story sounds good and all. Yeah, we want this tribe and we want to do this and do that. But lady, I applaud your efforts, but you are running yourself ragged. You
right. And at some point, like with them, I can't say this. You don't have enough. You don't have enough. You don't have enough. You don't. Like after a certain point, I'm not judging. I'm just saying. At a certain point, whether it's 10, 12, I mean, aren't these motherfuckers still trying to have more?
If they are,
right. You don't have enough for 12. No one has enough for 12. Stop with that. Stop.
I get stressed out just thinking about it. Yeah. Like watching, you watch the show and you see them kids jumping all over the fucking place. I'm like, I'm about to have anxiety attack. How do they do it?
They keep taking trips.
And then that poor daughter that they got done, she the goddamn parent, she know everything. Like
right.
Your child. Goddamn, that's the other part of it. Is that oftentimes the older siblings end up raising some of the kids.
Yep.
Yep. And I love my boys, but I don't want them raising anybody's kids at this age of their life. They can barely do the fucking Xbox and the fucking. What do you got, Doug? We've been hogging this conversation. What do you got about all these kids and giving them emotional support and all that? Where you at? Because you got teenagers now, bro. So like it almost sometimes is the height of the emotional, that they need.
I think it's a bit. It's not that it's the height of it. It's just that it's in smaller doses and it's more intense because things are different because they don't need you all the time. But when they need you, they really fucking need you. And it's very, very intense when things are going a little bit haywire and are trying to figure out what the hell to do and they look to you for advice. You just have to be ready. You're like basically on call all the time. And
I like that.
So
I like that. Yeah. So my boys they're homeschooled, so they really never leave. And we got Mama Bear that does not want them to have a job during the COVID. So they're not out yet. Daddy Bear is ready to kick them the fuck out. With all due respect. At certain point, I don't know about y'all, but I had a job when I was 13. And from 13 on, I had something. Paper route, McDonald's, something, and they just have had that pretty much the prize of them during the COVID, and Mama makes enough, and we can support them through this, but at some point they got to learn to go out and get a job and all that, like real soon-ish, like yesterday, in my opinion.
It's hard because like for us. Obviously, like, preferably, we wouldn't want our kids going out there, but at the same time, it's like, when we were in Baltimore and they weren't in school for all that time, that was pretty stressful too because they just weren't getting outside and they weren't socializing and all of those sorts of stuff, and it was really hard. And then it's also very, very hard to tell a child they can't go make some money because I know that pull is strong when you're in them teenage years and you want what you want and you want your wig that's not gonna get pulled off and all of that kind of stuff. You got to go out and get yours. So it's so hard, and every day we really worry about them, especially down here in this environment because so many people are so lax and so many people are so the opposite, and they like vigilant that no, I'm never wearing a mask. I don't give a fuck because this is all bullshit. It's all the liberals and blah blah blah. So you're always worried about these assholes. So it's really hard. We definitely worry about them all the time, but we are at the same time glad that they are getting money and being able to do for themselves. And it's hard to say. And ambitious. Take that away from you. Yeah, definitely. Because I know for sure. When I was that age, that's what it was all about. It was like, man, fuck these hand-me-down clothes. I know my mother doing the best she can, but I got to get mine. I need mine Sergio Tacchini's. You know what I mean?
Well, that and I was just tired of asking my mother for money. Well, what do you need it for? And what do you want? You don't need that. Right. Oh, no, I need it. Okay? Right. Okay? I need it. You don't know what I need. Remember that? Remember that? You don't know what I need. we used to tell our parents.
my mother was married to this guy that lived with us, and and I asked him for $5 one time. That motherfucker told me to go wash his car. I said, man, I ain't never asked you for shit again a day in my life.
Right.
That.
Exactly. All right. So y'all have been a treat. Y'all always a treat. I love y'all. Y'all my family.
Thank you.
We've become family literally in the past few years. I met Matt at Dad 2.0. And it was a great time. Doug, you did too.
Yep.
And it was Dad 2.0. It was the last one, right?
It was in DC.
Yeah.
Yes. And we hit it off, and we've been buds since. And again, I appreciate your leadership, Matt, as far as Black Fathers Foundation. I appreciate y'all giving me something to do and giving me a job.
And we appreciate you mightily. Trust me, we definitely do. And so, I appreciate. I wanted to just say I appreciate. I need to tell Barry too. I appreciate you two because you are equally as slacktastic as I am. So we are all slackers. Like we try to get these meetings together, and we're like, all right, I'm free from 1:30 to 1:35. All right, I'm free from 2:15 to 2:17. Can we how we gonna work this out? And then we still wind up like, whatever. So I just appreciate y'all because I'm not the only fuck up here.
Right. And we all have that same mentality, like, and that's why it works because we're all kind of laid back and we have a little bit of understanding. We understand each other.
Work it out. Yeah.
Right. Literally today we had a 1 o'clock, Doug, and I set up the Zoom and I was in there, and these motherfuckers. And then 45 minutes later, Matt's like, "Oh man, I'm a fuck up," and I was just laughing. I was just rolling. I didn't even say shit. I was like, "Man, that Zoom is still open. You want to go there? It's cool." And then we're like, "Fuck it, we got lunch."
I'm the one that said 1 o'clock, and then I turned around, it's 1:40. I'm like, "Fuck, I said 1, and I'm not even in there." And then Barry said a couple days ago, he said, "Yeah, I'm free from 1 to 3." So then I asked him at 1:45. I'm like, "Well, what's up? Can we still get together?" He said, "Oh, I had a 1
o'clock." Like, bitch. So you bitches were never gonna get on. Okay, I got it. Right.
Stop asking, just go and schedule it, bro.
We're trying to schedule it. That's what we're doing.
Just be like, boom.
Right. Right. So Matt, do you have any parting shots? Anything you want to say that we missed? Anything about Black Fathers? What do you got?
Yeah, definitely. We got a few things going on. We have our storehouse. I should have gave you the link for that. So we have a registry at Walmart, and it's called the Storehouse. And what we're doing is collecting items that we'll be storing for fathers in need in the Atlanta metropolitan area. We'll be distributing those items. So right now, we've got a few things that came in already: diaper bags, diapers, some bottles for the babies. So all of those sorts of things. We're doing a collection to help out, especially young fathers, first-time fathers who may be, going through some things, some financial challenges, and we can help them out. We're also putting an event together, tentatively scheduled for April 16th, where we're bringing fathers and kids out to not Westside Park, but Fourth Ward Park down here in Atlanta. And we're going to have a lot of fun, some great events, and also take some photos that we'll be utilizing through the foundation. So we want to capture images of fathers and their kids together. And then we're going to ultimately wind up having an exhibit of some sort. We haven't fleshed that totally out, but we want to it's always about the story and allowing us, again, to tell our stories in our own words. And of course, everybody says picture speaks 1,000 words. So even the visual tells a story. So we're going to take those snapshots and we're going to, craft the stories and spread the stories and tell the stories about Black men and who we are. But we're also working to provide those social opportunities to get together and also the resources to support men to help them be the best dads they can be. It's great to have the group and, we can talk and we can support each other verbally, and all of those sorts of things. But we also want to take it further and give people the resources they need to do the job that we love to do. We love our kids. We're dedicated to them just like anybody else. And, you know, sometimes you just need a little extra help.
Mm-hmm. Bravo to that.
Thank you.
Bravo to that. And then on that note, we'll see y'all in the fall because y'all got to come back twice a year.
Yeah, we definitely will. Because Kylie didn't even talk about her Jua and her doularing and all of that good stuff. She's so humble.
She tabled that too. Yeah. It's all good.
All good.
Oh
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, thank y'all for hanging out with us. We love y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
Once again.
Yep.
We'll talk to y'all soon.
Absolutely. Love being here with you. Peace.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers.
Doug, excellent. Let's get out of here. I wanted to say though, real quick, we don't have past guest news. We have host news. Our friend Casey is all over the place up there writing about Black History Month, and he did something. It's fleeting me now. I forgot. Yeah, it's bad. But he was also named best blogger of the year by a publication up there because he's kicking ass and he's great. We hope to have Casey back soon when he's not busy enough to be to come back. But yeah, he's doing great shit. I'm gonna put that out on my Twitter and my Facebook what Casey's up to. And we're proud of him. We're also happy to Callisto said thanks for the debut of Lag Libations and Lost Saves. Love the format, having different segments. That's our new gaming stream that we do every second Wednesday of the month. We started last week, had a good time, and the reviews were coming in and looking good, so that's great. I wanted to mention here that Lord Vito found us from Callisto, and Callisto found us from Daniel Fisher. So we are getting to people, Doug, and spreading the word, and it's great. And having fun. And Lord says good night. Nice to meet you, Lord.
Yep.
And thanks for chiming in and giving us a perspective of what's going on as far as the
food industry,
food industry and all that. Thanks, Doug. And real quick, we'll do this. I only had one today, and it was Survival Blonde from Martin City. Martin City Brewing. Who next week's guest is Charles. Charlie, he'll be on for Martin City. He sent us these. So I have a Belgian style blonde. It was really nice. I didn't finish it only because I'm like you, I've been rolling back on my booze a little bit. But next week I'll make sure I have a few because he sent us a whole bunch, and I'm looking forward to that. But this is a nice light blonde with some damn Belgian spices, and it was really, really refreshing and nice. What did you have, Doug?
This was the Partake Blonde, which was pretty decent. Like I said, to me, it tasted more like a blonde and an IPA kind of hybrid, but it was definitely drinkable. I also had one that I didn't talk about in the show was the Bravas Peanut Butter Dark, which is really tasty, a little roasty, got the peanut butter elements, but not overwhelming. Really good and drinkable. And my favorite thing was the Optimist gin cocktail that I had. That was really, really, really super good. And if you're looking for some NA booze, this stuff is really good. They also have a whiskey and a vodka variant. So I had the whiskey one. I did not get the vodka one. But yeah.
How was the whiskey one?
Smoky and good. The smoke actually, part of the smoke actually comes to have jalapenos in it. So it's interesting. It doesn't taste exactly like a whiskey, but they have like the notes of it, so it's good.
Well, excellent, Doug. You have a great weekend.
You as well, sir. Thank you. Bye, everybody.